Yeah. Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes. Lunático. Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah, yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work, de corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, yeah, la plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work, el mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes. Lunático.
Mic check, mic check.
And we have breaking news coming out of New York City. The mayor of my city in which I live, Mayor Eric Adams, has
Commentary right here by Razor Rays
has been indicted, and he is the first sitting New York City mayor to be indicted while in office. We will see what the charges are officially today, but this is huge news. He says he will not resign and that the charges are bogus against him, and he will continue to fight and be the mayor of New York City. He will not step down, he says. Mayor Adams claims that the Biden-Harris administration is targeting him because of his stance against the migrant crisis that has entered New York City over the past year and a half. He says that he spoke out against the flood of migrants that is being sent to New York City because of the sanctuary status of New York City and his own party's determination to flood New York City with migrants. He says that this is basically retaliation from the Biden-Harris administration against him.
All right. I guess that's interesting. Let's see what NBC says. Thank you, Razor Rays. NBC, here we go.
With breaking news just coming in, the indictment against New York City Mayor Eric Adams has just been unsealed. Let's get right to News 4 Chief Investigative Reporter Jonathan Deans with what the indictment and the charges are against the New York City mayor. John.
Yeah, hi, Adam. The charges just unsealed. The indictment sent to us. Here are some of the charges. Count 1, conspiracy to commit wire fraud and receive campaign contributions from foreign nationals.
I don't care about that. Next.
Count 2, wire fraud. Count 3 against the mayor, solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. That is count 3. Count 4, a similar count of that. Count 5 charges Mayor Adams with bribery.
I need to hear some more meat. Compared to Diddy, right now he's looking like an angel, but let's see what happens.
Let me just see if there is a 6th count, if you forgive me as I go through these pages here, as it is a 58-page document that we're going through. So there's a 5-count indictment, wire fraud, solicitation of campaign contributions by foreign nationals, and bribery among the charges included in this 50-plus page criminal indictment. It alleges in this indictment that Mayor Adams began this criminal conspiracy when he was Brooklyn Borough president, that he was taking
I seek knowledge in the house, Susie Bear in the house,
free gifts and benefits from officials within the government of Turkey, and that in exchange, he attempted to pressure city officials to do or facilitate the opening of that Turkish consulate that you see there. That is one of the official acts of the feds.
I'm sorry, I'm going to need more than that. I think what's the problem I'm having is that maybe these are big deals, what he's being indicted for, but we're talking about, I guess what I'm numb. That's what I'm going to say. I'm numb. And the reason why I'm numb is because I've done these Sunday shows with, Black women falling down left and right to violence, and this Diddy shit with Black women falling down to violence. And I got some Boosie shit coming up and Black women being abused there. So I need more meat than this, but I'll just pop this up here for a minute, let you guys listen. Here we go.
Are claiming the mayor took. There's also an abuse of the federal the New York Public Matching Funds Program because of campaign contributions and an alleged campaign finance scheme involving foreign money, that campaign matching program may have been defrauded as well. So we are sorting through these documents. Again, it's 55 pages. But again, what were the benefits that Mayor Adams allegedly got as a result? It's travel, it's hotels, it's other benefits from Turkish individuals within Turkey as they sought to gain influence with the mayor of the city of.
This is just what I'm sorry to tell you people. I would have loved to hear some juicy thing. And he is a friend of Diddy. I thought this was about Diddy, to be honest with you. I thought because he's pals with Diddy, I guess. But there's I'm not saying that there's no there at all, but I need some more meat than this. People do this. I've seen this kind of hustle done by folks all the time. So, buying gifts and doing things for those gifts. So anyway, I'm going to move on to something a little bit more deep, if you don't mind me, but at least we know the mayor has some issues to deal with. Here we go. Before I get started with the show, I want to play this thing and have this man tell you what's going on with the stats of crime in the United States. Here we go.
Blacks commit more crimes than whites do.
Okay, well, first of all, what he means by blacks commit more crimes is, in fact, that African Americans are more often convicted of committing crimes in the United States than any other racial demographic, which is very different from what he said. All that indicates is that the so-called criminal justice system in the United States is primarily only effective in the selective investigation, prosecution, and conviction of African Americans and other so-called minorities, as opposed to investigating, prosecuting, and convicting white perpetrators. The statistics that he's citing are actually an evidence arguing racial bias in policing, in prosecution, and in trials. It's not an evidence of greater criminality along racial demographic lines, no. Rather, it's only the assignment of criminality that falls along racial lines. I mean, more than half of all violent crimes in the United States go unsolved, overwhelmingly the case in certain types of violent crimes. So we're not talking actually about a criminal justice system that works, that's actually effective, that's actually efficient, that actually does its job. What we have is a criminal justice system that disproportionately seems to only quote unquote work when the perpetrators are not white. African American victims of homicide, by the way, make up most of the victims of homicide cases that go unsolved, whereas most homicide cases in which the victim is white, those get solved. In other words, crimes against white people are more likely to get solved than crimes against African American people.
Bars.
Or any other so-called minority group, a member of the global majority. And they're even more likely to get solved when the perpetrator of the crime happens to be African American. So in other words, if you're a white victim, you're more likely to get justice. And if you're a white perpetrator, you're more likely to escape justice. That's the system. And that's all that is evidenced by what he's saying. So when you look at the number of unsolved crimes, it's not unreasonable to assume that say 60% or so of violent crimes in America that never get solved, that those are very possibly crimes committed by white people against African American people or against other so-called minority groups. So rather than saying blacks commit more crimes than anyone else in America, it would be more honest to say that no one who commits a crime in America is more likely to be punished for that crime than an African American. And in fact, it's also more likely for an African American person to be wrongfully convicted of a crime of which they are accused. And it's more likely for them to even be punished for that, even when they have been proven innocent. And you can look at the case right now of Marcellus Williams. So the statistics that he's citing actually only substantiate the belief that the so-called criminal justice system in the United States is a major component of what you can call a systematic domestic ethnic cleansing program in America, being carried out against African Americans and other members of the global majority. That's all that is evidenced by the statistics that he's citing. And this, in fact, demonstrates a vastly greater degree of criminality than anything that he mentioned. And I would go further to say that this speaker himself, with the statistics that he's mentioning and the interpretation that he's putting on those statistics, that he himself occupies a propaganda role in that ethnic cleansing system.
This is deep. This is real deep.
For which, in my opinion, he could and should be prosecuted under international law.
Phoenix soul in their house.
So I really would hope that people would take this more seriously and understand the gravity of what so-called minority groups, members of the global majority, what they are facing and what they are enduring, and the human rights violations that are committed against them in the United States, that you would take that more seriously, so that when you see someone who is clearly playing a propaganda role in support of what, again, does constitute an ethnic cleansing program in America, when you see someone who is occupying a role of propaganda in support of that system, normalizing that system, justifying that system, rationalizing that
I
system.
couldn't agree with this man more. The only problem is it seems like we are playing into this ethnic cleansing ourselves. That is, Black men, the way they attack, well, we attack each other, and the way we attack Black women. That's not helping. The best way to resolve this issue and to not have this problem with unjust legal matters is to stop doing things that would be necessarily be bad for another person. Let me keep going here. So that brings me to this dude right here. Here we go.
Baton Rouge native Torrance Hatch Jr. began his career as Lil Boosie and quickly became a regional legend. After leaving the group Concentration Camp to pursue a solo career, he was signed to Pimp C's Trill Entertainment and released several notable songs, such as Set It Off, Zoom, and Wipe Me Down.
I have no idea what those tracks are.
He has since changed his name from Lil Boosie to Boosie Badazz, dodged a charge that threatened to put him behind bars for life, and
That was the M word.
has beaten cancer. But despite all of his
Dang
accomplishments,
it.
his business endeavors, and his questionable title as the Tupac of the South, Boosie's determination to turn his life around and inspire others has hit several roadblocks. This is a story about a lot of
He's a bandit. That's the roadblock that he hit.
hot, stinking mess.
Wait. I got to go past the beat just in case. But what I want you to do is if you get hungry, rrgsnacks.com. Hey, it looks good to me. Anyway, here we go.
After Boosie signed Milwaukee artist Cachet royally to his record label, Cachet celebrated the moment by getting this tattoo. Months later, in December 2018, Cachet claimed she had been dropped from the label and accused Boosie of putting a hit out on her. In a video posted to her Instagram account, Cachet stated Boosie was after her because she knew too much information and he wanted to silence her.
But this man did put out a hit on me. He trying to freaking kill me. Trying to take me away from my family. Y'all must be so quick to praise the motherfucker. This man is the fucking devil. He is the devil. Do you hear me?
Yeah, it was deep. Let me give you a more extended mix of that right now. Let me give you a more of an extended mix of this dude that men in our community adore. They love this dude. But this is what he does. Now, remember what that guy said about the unsolved crimes? Check this out. Check this out.
Wasn't gonna talk about the shit, but I'm at the point where I really don't give a fuck no more. Once you playing with my life, when you play with my life, this shit go to a whole nother level. This shit is real. I can't speak too much right now, but I'm gonna go live again later. But this man did put out a hit on me. He trying to freaking kill me. Trying to take me away from my family. And all I wanted to do was live my fucking dream. It's like, you motherfuckers, you gotta watch what you get yourself into. You hear me? This shit is fucking real. This shit is real.
Y'all love some Boosie, huh? This is what he does. This is what he's about. No wonder he's defending Diddy. No wonder he's defending Diddy.
This man put out a hit on me. And I'm gonna tell you why later. I can't right now. I gotta fucking keep my fucking head on the swivel right now. I don't have no fucking body to protect me. I'm doing this shit on my own. I've been out here on my own. Y'all motherfuckers be so quick to praise a motherfucker. This man is a fucking devil.
There it is. And you know, the sad part about it is that seems to be a trend in our community, whether it's pimps, bandits, players, you know, wife beaters. It's as if the men are captivated by the level of brutality these men project on the women.
He is the devil. Do you hear me? And the reason why he want to kill me is because I know too much. This time I'd have been around him. The time that I've been in his house, I've seen so much shit that you wouldn't even fucking believe. And that's why he trying to kill me, because he didn't want me to go public. He didn't want me to go public. But God saved me. That's why I wasn't on fucking social media. And I'm still finna get off of social media. I give up. I give up on this music. I'm done. Fuck it all. Fuck it all. This shit is gonna cost me my life for no reason. All them fucking videos and shit that y'all hear about this man, that shit is fucking real. Do you hear me?
They can't find her. She disappeared. She disappeared. She's not, hopefully she's hiding, but nobody knows where she is. Nobody. She disappeared.
Baton Rouge from her and refused to pay her back. And when she refused, both Cachet and Boosie's affiliate, Sadell Cole.
Praise the motherfucker. This man is a fucking devil. He is the devil. Do you hear me?
While Boosie never publicly addressed the situation, a YouTube channel called Support This TV decided to get to the bottom of things. They reached out to both Cachet and Boosie's affiliate, Sadell Coleman, who goes by the name Quavo Badazz on Instagram. Cachet told Support This TV Boosie promised he would get her career popping in 30 days, and because he didn't, she said he was in breach of her contract. She also claimed Sadell took $200,000 from her and refused to pay her back. And
Damn. Wow, what great leaders these men are.
She refused to have an intimate relationship with him because she's only interested in women.
Damn. And see, these guys are so, see what I mean? Yeah, this is basically two-thirds of the music industry. Just dudes trying to hire women so they can have S with them.
Said Sadell told her to stop promoting the label and to go away. Cachet said she brought up the missing $200,000 to Boosie, and once he realized she could take him to court and potentially be awarded more money, Cachet said that's when Boosie put the hit out on her.
Ain't that something? Isn't that a high-value man right there? Isn't that a high-value man right there? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself for supporting this dude. You all should. In the house. Hazel Bug, it's good seeing you. Here we go.
Sadell denied the allegations, wished her well, and said he hoped she was getting the help she needed. Subsequent DMs Cachet sent to Sadell months after she was dropped show her pleading for him to contact her and give her another chance with the label. So, were the allegations against Boosie true, or was Cachet lashing out because she got dropped? We might never know the truth, but when RRG attempted to reach out to Cachet, we discovered her Instagram account has been completely deactivated, and there's no further information about her current whereabouts.
Exactly. Now you see how these dudes roll.
On October 21st, 2009, 35-year-old Terry Boyd lost his life when gunmen sprayed bullets through the living room of his Baton Rouge home. 8 months later, state and federal law enforcement leaders filed a series of indictments, charging several people, including 17-year-old Michael Marlowe Mike Louding, with committing a string of crimes, in addition to the shooting that took Terry's life. The advocate described the case as a tale of rival up.
Boosie, crime leader in our community. And you guys have the nerve to blame black women. Of any shade and color, I should say as well. Y'all got to get the heck out of there. You're out there supporting a straight up hardened criminal and dissing black women. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Incoming rappers and a teenage hitman who was determined to be a part of Boosie's inner circle. Boosie got caught up in the case when he was accused of hiring Marlowe Mike and another man to execute Terry in exchange for $2,800. Boosie allegedly ordered the hit after he found out Terry had planned to, quote, jack and slap him.
An East Baton Rouge Parish grand jury has indicted Torrance Hatch, otherwise known as Lil Boosie, on first-degree murder charges. Lil Boosie was indicted in the October 21st shooting death of Terry Boyd. Boosie and a girlfriend, along with a former Dixon Institute guard.
Yeah, you want to know why? Do you really want to know why the community is the way it is? You make heroes out of the people like this. You made heroes out of people like this.
Inmate were also indicted on drug charges. Michael Louding and Adrian Pittman are also indicted on first-degree charges for Boyd's murder.
That's why he still supports Diddy. Because he just like Diddy. He just wasn't quite as lucky as Diddy.
Trial, the district attorney stated 2 weeks after Terry lost his life, Marlowe Mike got a tattoo of an AK-47 surrounded by the words, "Yo Boosie, who's next?" Marlowe Mike was sentenced to life behind bars with no possibility of parole. Boosie was acquitted of the charges, but several months later, he pleaded guilty to conspiring to smuggle substances and was hit with an 8-year sentence. His imprisonment led to the Free Boosie movement, and he was released in 2014 after serving 4 years.
Free Boosie movement. I mean, he did it. He admitted it. And they let this beast out on us again.
But the story about Terry Boyd and Boosie's connection began to unfold as the years passed by. In July 2000,
let me go back here. Now you see why Cynthia G was right. See, that's the funny part about, the manosphere. Is they love niggas like this. They love dysfunction. The manosphere feeds off of dysfunction because they are dysfunctional men. And I'm just using them as a description because they follow the ideologies of gangsters. They follow the ideologies of bandits. They do. They want criminals to get away with it. They don't want good men to get away with it. Oh, no. No, a good man to them is a simp.
Connection began to unfold as the years passed by. In July 2018, Boosie's daughter's mother hopped on Instagram to unleash some serious allegations. The woman played audio of a telephone conversation of Boosie threatening to put his hands on her and their daughter. In the recording, Boosie also tells the child he'll end her mom's life the same way her uncle's life was taken. Her uncle being none other than Terry Boyd. Yep, that's right. Terry Boyd was his child's mother's brother.
Hey, I want you to do this real like your I ain't do nothing to my brother. Your big ass boy ain't do nothing to my brother. You ain't do nothing to him. Breathe like him. You ain't do nothing to him.
Boosie can be heard saying,
Yeah. I mean, dang, I started today's show was supposed to be about, I don't know. Let's just go. Let me stop.
and he will put a bag on the woman, which our friends over at Boss Up website claim is slang for hiring a hitman.
Because everybody know how you is when you're angry. You do some dirty, evil shit. I think you pray to the devil. You evil. Look at you. You look like death, as black as you is.
She got a good one.
Boosie was asked about the phone call during an interview with Vlad TV. He said he has never put his hands on his daughter, and he called his daughter's mother and her entire family crackheads who were plagued by poverty and seek out rich rappers to have children with.
Wait a minute. This fool right here has been in prison, right? And he's trying to criticize other people. Get the fuck out of here.
In terms of the comment he made about Terry Boyd, Boosie said he wasn't implicating himself. He was just telling his child's mother that by the way she was living her life, she would end up having the same fate as her brother.
Yeah, right.
His son, Tootie Raw, has been at the center of some controversy as well, all thanks to Boosie, of course. In August 2017, Boosie wished Tootie a happy 14th birthday and promised to give his son a bag of money and a night of intimate relations with a woman. Boosie later said it was just a joke. However, he hopped on Instagram Live and said it was okay for his son to do whatever he wanted because hooking up at that age was no big deal. Boosie was back on his BS during a May 2020 Instagram Live session when he went on a rant.
I think we should change his name from Boosie Badass to Bussy Bandit. What do you guys think? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree, 2 if you don't.
About, quote, training his young male family members on how to hook up with women. Despite people calling for him to be investigated and for CPS to take his children away, Boosie didn't back down on his statements.
I'm training them boys right. Ask in there my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yes, yeah. That's how I raise them. I don't care what y'all say, yeah.
Unsurprisingly, Tootie Raw is now reportedly a teenage dad. Which brings us to our next point. An aspiring rapper named Ramya J announced in June 2021 she was pregnant by 17-year-old Tootie Raw, and Boosie claimed Ramya was 18 at the time. Despite being a strong proponent of the young men in his life having relations, Boosie wasn't pleased about being a 38-year-old grandpa.
I don't think she pregnant. I think they lying. Her and the mama trying to get my son. Yeah, I'm gonna tell.
Wait a minute. He says he doesn't think she's pretty. He said he doesn't think she's pretty looking the fuck like he looked. Get the fuck out of here. Nigga, please.
Boosie wasn't pleased about being a 38-year-old grandpa.
I don't think she pretty. I think they lying. Her and the mama trying to get my son. Yeah, I'm going to tell it.
Mush mouth as well.
How many months she is?
I'm going to tell. I don't know. I think she photo shit lying. They been trying to get my son since he was 10.
No.
Yeah, she did a video way back with him. She was 11 years old. She had 13-inch weave in her hair.
Wait a minute. You've seen how this dude looks. I think he needs to shut the heck up when it comes to saying anything about any other person's appearance. I really do.
In an Instagram Live, Ramya said when she found out she was expecting, she was going to terminate the pregnancy. But once she discovered she was having twins, she decided to keep the babies. And that's when all heck broke loose.
I'm tired of this and I'm tired of the mess. Like, the mess is too much and I'm always the bad guy. At the end of the day, I called multiple days ago and I said, I've been said that I want a DNA test. The man keep running away from the DNA test because he know that they his and he don't want to step up to the situation.
Yeah, he got that from his daddy. He got that from his daddy. He got it from his daddy. And these funk dudes are funny. First they say they complain to Cynthia G about the deletion of black male babies. Then they get mad at a woman for getting pregnant and keeping the kid. Make up your mind, foes.
I'm blocking all of his family. If you're a part of his family, go ahead and unfollow me right now, because if you don't, I'm going to block you. Like, I don't want nothing to do with the situation because, I mean, it's really just, they're all just a mess. They're all just a mess.
She bars for that.
She gave birth to a baby boy and a baby girl on August 17th, 2021. As of September of this year, both babies were still being...
Phoenix Soul nails it perfectly. If you're tired, young lady, stop letting these demons slide. Bars.
...cared for in a neonatal ICU. It's unclear if Tootie Raw has been officially confirmed as the father, but once the paternity test results come back, we're sure Boosie will have something to say.
Yeah, Susie Bear breaks it down perfectly. Who cares about her wearing weave at 11? I mean, kids wear a clown hat at 11. The weave looked cute. There was nothing wrong with it. That just shows you how ignorant, ugly nigga be. You pushed your dusty spawn into sleeping with a prostitute at 14. Yeah, right. Exactly, Susie Bear.
Boosie found himself at the center of more backlash in February 2021 when he shared his thoughts on Lori Harvey's dating history. In an interview with Vlad TV...
Okay, you just heard him. A hardened criminal with a long record of possible deletions and criminal activity is criticizing a young lady from a rich upbringing. Get the fuck out of here.
Boosie had a problem with Lori receiving praise for dating multiple high-profile men in the entertainment industry, including Trey Songz, Future, Diddy, and Diddy's son, Justin Combs, to name a few. Boosie said, "We got to start giving the bachelors, the men who are running through a beautiful woman like this, the credit." His comments were met with a ton of criticism, which prompted Boosie to go even harder by saying Lori had been passed around, and anyone who was encouraged...
Wait a minute. This is the same dude who let his 14-year-old kids get run through. Yes, you heard me say it. This is the same dude who let his 14-year-old kids get run through. The boys. Yes, men can be run through too, fool. See, this is what you call denial and hypocrisy at the maximum level.
Encouraging her lifestyle was also encouraging their own daughters to be used by several men. Upon his 2014 release from behind bars, Boosie rejoined society and discovered the world had become much more inclusive to the
behind bars, but giving out horrible advice and critique to other people. Way to go. His family is a mess. His kids all are getting run through. He looks like he looks older than me, and y'all know how old I am. You got to be kidding me.
The LGBTQ community. But watching TV and seeing storylines that featured same-sex relationships rubbed Boosie the wrong way.
Look, anything rubs Boosie the wrong way. That's why he's dangerous. And the funny thing is, they look at this fool like a role model. They do. They do. Let me keep this going. Let's dive into Young Dolph real quick. This is what happened.
We have a verdict to the members of the public. If you don't think you're going to be able to not show any emotion during the reading of this verdict, I ask you to remove yourself now.
Susie Bear, please. Wait. What am I doing here? I'll put it right there. Right there. Okay. Right there. Susie Bear says he sounds like a pussy prison booty bandit who wishes that he looked like a beautiful woman, yes, so that he could have the man he truly wants. Bars. I mean, if you roll with Diddy, if you rolled with Diddy hard, we all question you now. That's why he has so much hatred for women. There's nothing wrong with a guy liking a guy or loving a guy. There's no problem with that. But when you want to criticize others, that's when I'm not cool with it then. Yeah, Susie Bear, he wishes he could look like Lori Harvey. Exactly. Looks like he needs some of that skin cream around his eyes too. What you're seeing right here is some more role models being role models, and I'm putting that in asterisks, okay, are being sentenced in the Young Dolph killing. We move forward. I'm going to speed up a little bit so we can get to the good stuff. All right. Yeah, this is the leadership. This is the leadership that Kevin Samuels was promising everyone. Look at him. He's about to get. Look at this leader here. The guy that's supposed to be logical. Remember, men are logical, women are emotional. Look at this logical man. He was about to get, himself, hearing a verdict of what he, of what his case is going to be. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict? You have your own. Four person. If you would stand and read your verdict, please.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment.
Guilty, first degree. Let's keep it going.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the indictment. And we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of convicted felon in possession of a firearm as charged in count 3 of the indictment.
Thank you. Juror number 1, is that your verdict? Juror number 34, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 35, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is that your verdict? Yes. Juror number 14, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 17, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 27, is that your verdict?
It is, Your Honor.
Juror number 33, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 25, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 44, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 23, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 28, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for your time and attention to this matter this week. Our system of self-government would not work without your service and sacrifice that you've made. Thanks again for your time and attention. You are excused.
Jurors excused.
Look at this leadership. Look at what this brother, you know, look at him. He looks like a leader now. 3 counts of the deletion, 3 counts, all guilty. That's excellent leadership. He just led himself to prison for the remainder of his life. Tell me the logic in that. Tell me the logic, because remember now, King Samuel said, black men are logical and black women are emotional, right? Let's face it, he knew he meant that. Where's the logic? Hey, you have to admit that white dude's beard is on point. It is on point.
Mr. Johnson, the jury having found you guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. As the 13th juror, I affirm this verdict. As to the first-degree murder, I sentence you to life in prison. I will set punishment as to the conspiracy and the convicted felon in possession of a firearm after a sentencing hearing. The date for that hearing will be
I think we heard enough from him. This situation, great leadership, way to lead, way to be logical, way to go. Don't worry, you probably learned from the Diddy crew. You know how much he got paid? He got paid $800. He got paid $800 to throw away his life. He got paid $800 to throw away his life. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear me? He got paid $800 to throw away his life. That's logic. That's logic. You got to be kidding me. I never want to hear that women are emotional and men are logical thing anymore. Not anymore. No. Let's break down the Diddy case real quick. Here we go.
Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs. Now, you can be a freak and it's not illegal, but you can't force people to do shit. And this is what I'm getting at. When you have a lot of money and you have no accountability and you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever the fuck you want to do it, I think you can go a little bonkers.
You ain't been calling me.
Pause. JG Music, welcome. And Boosie, we call him Boosie now, had the gall to demonize black women. Yeah, black women judge. Yep.
Me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
I mean, he's complaining to a teenager that you don't really want to hang out with me. Okay, but he didn't do this. Just so you know, he didn't do this. He did not do this. He doesn't have. Oh my God! Look at all that.
Pause that. Thanks to my team, they got me up to game on this. Okay. Did you know that Diddy, the baby oil, you're probably saying, what's the big deal with baby oil? What's the big deal with the baby oil? Do you think drinks is the only thing they drugged? You're wrong. I think if you remember right, I told you that these men don't get off with just hiring pros. They want to make people do what they want them to do like slaves. They do. But there's laws in the United States, so they're not going to go for it, right? So they drug the baby oil, because baby oil can't be that bad, right? They drug the baby oil. Hey, let me rub some of this on there. And then they get, next thing they know,
Baby oil. He didn't do this. He didn't have all these bottles of baby oil for nothing.
And we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore.
That means when he's out of money.
He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government...
Okay, that's just dumb. He's not afraid of the charges? Wouldn't you be afraid of the charges? Where are you? You're in fucking Rikers Island. You goddamn well better be afraid. They just executed 2 search warrants. They've got obliterated serial numbers on firearms. They've got videos and baby oil. What he needs is somebody to tell him what the truth is. You are f***ed. You are absolutely f***ed. You're going to prison for the good portion of the rest of your life. I guarantee you they've offered immunity to the people around him so that they testify. And separate from the freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. And you keep in mind...
Let me pause that because that's important. That's what we're getting into tonight with conspiracies. This part right here, listen close.
You're going to prison for the good portion of the rest of your life. I guarantee you they've offered immunity to the people around him so that they testify. And separate from the freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. And you keep in mind, these victims are going to come in and testify. Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. I don't want to fuck him anymore. Too bad. You're going to fuck him some more. They also got 1,000 bottles of baby oil. They got terabytes and terabytes of videos. Remember I was telling you they got all those electronics. Somebody like this guy wants to preserve that. I guarantee you it's all there.
He's the criminal lawyer.
Yep. Let's hear some more here. Here we go.
Microphone. He's at the editing desk. He's at everything. He is the reason we're even doing this. So say hello, Michael Rivers.
Hello, CLR fans.
Michael Rivers. Look, they got the real deal camera set up. Look at this. They ain't playing. This lawyer got some. That's probably about 10,000 right there. That camera, man. One of these days, maybe.
I don't know. P. Diddy, Sean Puff Daddy Combs. I don't know.
Remember, he's called Puffy because he has a bad temper.
This just absolutely floors me. This is what we call, corruption. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, I just can't believe how fucking stupid this guy is. But before we get into the stupidity and the unnecessary crap that he did and why he did it and everything, we're going to get into all that. This is brought to you by eForms.com, a very loyal sponsor of the right-minded legal people who don't engage in sex trafficking and all this other kind of crap. eForms.com is a very...
You have to admit, this guy's pretty funny. I like him.
Effective way to avoid the high cost of a lawyer like me. When you sell something, you need a bill of sale. When you rent in a place, you need a rental agreement. When you have a grandma in her basement who's really not doing the greatest because she's on meth and likes to have her only feet fans, and you really need to get a hold of her finances and make sure she's taken care of, well, you need a power of attorney for that person, don't you? But regardless of what your need is, if you have it in writing, if you need it in writing, get it from
Let me fast forward a little bit.
Engage in prostitution. So in other words, flying prostitutes out to, and male or female.
Wait, let me go back because I think we really haven't shown by the numbers.
Puff Daddy, he is charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. So in other words, flying prostitutes out to, and male or female. So here's the thing. He is looking at a bunch of time. First, what he did.
I like his hat. His hat right here says "Stop self-snitching."
He had his initial appearance. That was last week. I think it was last Tuesday.
And he's pissed off. He knows he pissed off somebody because he's got his revolver. He's got a revolver right there.
And when you have your initial appearance,
Let me cover that up.
the government makes a motion to detain. And in this case, there's a presumption that he's detained while the case is pending. What does that mean? It means you're not entitled to bail. What did I say? Doesn't that seem he hasn't been convicted of anything? No, you're not entitled to bail. So, but it's a rebuttable presumption. So what do? They say initially, all right, on Tuesday, we're going to detain you. The government sought detainment in this case. And Mr.
Okay, let's move forward. Let's move forward. But I just want to make sure you know what was going on with dude. Okay, so we went through Boosie. We broke down some stuff with Diddy's baby oil. He literally, let me tell you about old Diddy or old Dusty. He was spiking the baby oil, spiking, of course, every drink in there, spiking the ice, probably spiked the water to the everything. I mean, that's just criminal. That's just straight up crim. And guess what? He got sued again.
Which she accepted. Combs began to.
Let me go back. He got sued again. Let me go back past that.
So an alleged videotape as well. So it's a 26-page court document. I'm not going to read all 26 pages. The most important stuff starts around page 9. So on the first page of the indictment, it has a plaintiff
from Lovely T.I.
Sean Combs, Joseph Sherman, Daddy's House Recording, Combs Global, Combs Enterprise, Bad Boy Entertainment Holding, Bad Boy Production Holding, Bad Boy Books Holding, Bad Boy Records LLC, Bad Boy Entertainment LLC, Bad Boy Production LLC, and organizational does 1 through 10. It's very interesting how this bad boy name, it's just, that's not the name you want to use in a case like this. It's definitely proven that moniker of bad boy correctly. And so they're saying that the plaintiff, her name is Thalia Graves. She's represented by Gloria Allred. And they're saying around the summer of 2000.
Oh, he's toast. Gloria's pretty good. Gloria is really good. I think she worked she worked some magic on R. Kelly and a couple other dudes.
The plaintiff's life was violently knocked off course when the defendants Sean Combs and Joseph Sherman viciously raped her at the Bad Boys record studio in New York City. The plaintiff was 25 at the time and dating one of Combs' employees, a relationship that Combs exploited to lure the plaintiff into meeting him and Sherman alone. Once they successfully sequestered the plaintiff, Combs and Sherman gave her a drink, likely laced with a drug that eventually caused her to briefly lose consciousness, and she awoke to find herself bound and restrained. So this is a 26-page document. I'm going to kind of skip around to the meat and potatoes. So when we go down to about page 9, that's where the gist of everything happens. So line 22, they say Bad Boys Enterprise is a foundation of Combs' wealth and power. Bad Boys has sold over 500 million records through its lucrative distribution deals with top music companies in the world and has signed acclaimed hip hop and R&B artists, including Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, Usher. Combs later founded CEOPCO LLC, aka Combs Enterprise, later rebranded to Combs Global to serve as a home of his portfolio of businesses, including his investments in music, fashion, fragrances, beverages, marketing, film, television, and media industry. So I'm going to skip down. Let's see here I'm going to skip down to line 23. As detailed above, Combs has a long history of violence and abusing and raping women, and there have been several civil lawsuits filed against Combs in the past year, alleging sexual violence and abuse. On September 16th of 2024, Combs was arrested and charged with racketeering and sex trafficking. He was denied bail. Defendant Sherman, also known as Big Joe, was employed by Combs as his bodyguard and head of security during the relevant time period described herein and served within various roles of the Combs corporations. Again, This is how they're able to tie all this into a RICO, because he owns all of these entities, and a lot of these people who worked under him were also doing dirt as well. Hence the RICO case that he's tied in. So then they go on to say this. Sherman is also a founder of Rhymes and Dimes Magazine, Inc., a New York State registered corporation. Through or in connection with that company, produces and distributes pornography. On information and belief, he has often distributed videos of his or his friends' sexual assaults through his pornography company. So basically, this is a man that deals in pornographic images and video. And so when they want to record pornography or some of these freak-offs, he's the man with the camera. Don't forget.
Damn. Thank you, Quita Ward, for the super sticker. $3. Quita Ward in the house. So you can see what's going on here. Diddy was just running, he wasn't running a music enterprise. He was running a criminal enterprise.
Forget that. So
that
they
just happens to make a little music from time to time.
go on to say this. The plaintiff met the defendant Combs in and around late 1999 through 2000s through her then boyfriend, who was an executive at Bad Boy. In addition to working together, the plaintiff's boyfriend and Combs had a close personal relationship. Plaintiff frequently visited her boyfriend at the Bad Boy Studios in New York City and attended events hosted at Combs' residence. Over time, the plaintiff became familiar with Combs and knew about her relationship with her boyfriend. In or around the summer of 2001, plaintiff received a call from Combs concerning her boyfriend's employment at Bad Boy. He told her that he wanted to meet with her in person to discuss her boyfriend's supposed performance issues. Her boyfriend...
Exactly. Quita says he was living up to his Bad Boy, living up to Bad Boy. That's straight up true.
Boyfriend was determined to climb up the ladder at Combs' record label, and his romantic partner, the plaintiff, was committed to helping him. The plaintiff agreed to meet with Combs. In retrospect, it was evidently a sick and twisted way of using his ownership of the title at Bad Boy and its affiliate entity to abuse the plaintiff and also show his power and ability to humiliate her boyfriend, his executive. A few hours later, Combs arrived at the plaintiff's mother's residence in Queens with Sherman, who was employed by Combs as his bodyguard at the time. Sherman was driving an SUV and Combs was in the back seat. After the plaintiff entered the vehicle, Combs offered her a glass of wine, which she accepted.
Uh-oh, there it goes. You see? Dang, he makes, you want to know something? Diddy makes Bill Cosby an angel. And you know how that's, you see where I'm.
Combs began discussing his alleged concerns about her boyfriend's performance at work. Meanwhile, as the plaintiff drank what had been handed to her, she started to feel lightheaded, dizzy, and physically weak. In retrospect, it is clear that Combs had caused a drug to be put into the plaintiff's drink, as a few sips of wine have never impacted her in that way. Combs and Sherman drove the plaintiff to the Bad Boy studio in Manhattan. When they arrived and the plaintiff tried to get out of the car, she realized she was feeling odd and found it difficult to walk. She assumed that this was her fault. And
this is a funny thing. That's what academics did too. But he didn't partake, but he said these men are out here setting up their own women. That's crazy to me.
Did her best to act normal and followed Combs as he led her eventually to a couch in a private room in the Bad Boy Studios. She later came to understand that this was Combs' personal lounge and office at the Bad Boy Studio. Combs sat on the couch next to the plaintiff and continued to speak to her. Plaintiff began feeling even more woozy and sedated. She then lost consciousness. When the plaintiff regained consciousness, she was naked and her hands were tied behind her back with what felt like plastic grocery bags. The plaintiff shouted for help. In response, Sherman lifted her up from the couch and forcefully slammed her face down on what appeared to be a pool table. Shortly thereafter, Combs entered the room naked. Combs reached for a container of lubricant that smelled like menthol and proceeded to apply it to his penis. Oh my gosh. Menthol burns. Menthol is like a peppermint. What the hell?
Wow. This guy was a freaking monster demon. high-level bandit right here. High-value bandit.
He then bent the plaintiff over on the table, causing her feet to dangle above the floor, and forcibly held her down and anally penetrated her without her consent. Oh my gosh. The plaintiff is 4'11" and weighed only 103 pounds at the time. Oh man. The plaintiff was unable to move and totally overpowered physically, in addition to being drugged and bound. The plaintiff screamed out in pain, but Combs continued to violently, anally rape her. He easily physically overpowered her, smashing her head down on the pool table while she futilely tried to wiggle out from under him. During the brutal attack, the plaintiff vomited in her mouth on the table. At one point, she involuntarily defecated. Combs was undeterred. He wiped himself off, applied more lubricant without any acknowledgement of the plaintiff's distress, and then proceeded to vaginally penetrate the plaintiff. I did not know this was going to be so brutal, and this is disgusting.
I couldn't agree more. This is disgusting. He is disgusting. And the weird thing is he's a role model. And you wonder why our community looks the way it does. He's not the only type. Look, he might be the most famous monster, but there's plenty of monsters.
So this man put menthol on his penis, which is a burning agent. I don't even know how you can deal with putting something like that on your penis. Then you take an agent like menthol, which burns the skin, and you shove it into somebody's anus and violently rape her to the point where she defecates on herself. It doesn't bother him. The smell of shit and all that stuff does not bother him. He simply just wipes himself off and then proceeds to add more lubricant to his peen, rape her vaginally. Knowing that there's still fecal matter on his penis, now he's pushing all of that fecal matter into her vagina. This man is sick. This is sick. Then they go on to say the plaintiff experienced an intense pain and burning sensation in her vagina and anus. The plaintiff continued to scream for help because of the extreme pain that she felt as Combs penetrated her over and over again. She lost consciousness again. The next time she regained consciousness, the plaintiff was on the couch and Sherman was standing in front of her with his bare penis in her face. Sherman slapped the plaintiff in the face and forcefully inserted his penis into her mouth. Sherman slapped her yet again and continued to thrust his penis into the plaintiff's mouth. The plaintiff once again lost consciousness. When she next woke, the plaintiff was on the couch naked and alone in the room. The plaintiff was in severe pain and distress. Her anus and vaginal area burnt. Her face and wrists were bruised, and her genitalia smelled strongly of menthol. Oh my gosh. She felt a liquid, presumably semen, dripping from inside her. Her dress was thrown over her, and her purse was on the couch next to her, and her bra was on the floor nearby. She did not see her underpants. Terrified that Combs and Sherman would return, the plaintiff quickly got dressed and bolted out of the studio room where she had been raped. Still dizzy and weak, the plaintiff called a delivery driver that her family regularly hired and knew well. The driver picked her up from outside the Bad Boy studio. She was disheveled and crying uncontrollably and suffering from agonizing pain. The driver drove her to the hospital and tried to convince her to report the rape and get a rape kit. But she was unable to leave the car, shaking and crying hysterically and terrified of what Combs would do to her and her family if she reported him. The aftermath and impact of the rape on the plaintiff. The plaintiff sustained serious physical injuries in the aftermath of the rape. As noted, she was burning in her vagina and anus and bruising on her wrist and face. In the days after the assault, she suffered prolonged anal bleeding and hemorrhoids. Because of Combs' power and notoriety, the plaintiff was afraid to report what had happened.
What a piece of shit dude is.
She was involved in a contentious divorce and custody battle at the time and feared that reporting the rape would cause her to lose custody of her young child. The plaintiff confided in her boyfriend, Combs's employee, hoping he would comfort and support her. But instead of supporting her, he discouraged her from disclosing the assault and telling her that it would negatively impact his own career.
Oops. Correct me. I called Diddy a piece of shit, but I forgot to tell you that her boyfriend is as well. I need to correct myself.
What a trash ass boyfriend. Your boss raped your girlfriend and you're worried more about the impact of your own.
Yeah. What happened to that protection and provision? Remember? Now you guys see how stupid that man who passed away was. Protection, provision. Diddy. And Chantel. Yeah, I'm calling y'all out. Chuck E. Cheese. You see what men that think like you do? Do you? This is all you niggas are.
Own career? What a selfish asshole. Let me breathe. Following the assault and multiple times over the years, both Combs and Sherman contacted the plaintiff and warned her to be silent, threatening repercussions, including the plaintiff potentially losing custody of her son if she ever disclosed the assault. Because of their enormous power in the industry, including through their ownership and possessions at Combs corporations, the plaintiff knew that they could follow through on their threats. Plaintiff told close friends that Combs and Sherman had drugged and savagely raped her, but as noted, was afraid to report the attack to the police out of fear that the defendants would follow through with their threats. She was even afraid to stay in New York City while Combs lived there. So with the help of a friend, she fled to Pennsylvania. The plaintiff has in fact relocated multiple times throughout the years in an effort to stay away from Combs. The plaintiff has suffered irreparable harm because of the brutal rape by the defendants, Combs and Sherman. She suffers from severe depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. She also suffered from suicidal ideations.
I hope she gets every penny that she's asking for.
And intrusive thoughts, and has attempted to end her own life. The plaintiff lives in constant fear. She struggles with hypervigilance and experiences anxiety and panic attacks.
Now you see why, because the feds got this first. They got this paper first. That's why they're not letting him out. What do you think the first thing he's going to do? What do you think the first thing men like this do? Say, my bad, I'm sorry. No.
In social settings, preferring to be alone. Her need to hide to feel safe has strained her relationship with friends and family. The defendant's rape has also impacted the plaintiff's ability to engage in sexual acts with intimate partners to this day. She cannot be in certain sexual positions without experiencing flashbacks of Combs violently penetrating her from behind. On around November 27, 2023, all of the trauma of the rape came flooding back to the plaintiff when her former boyfriend revealed to her for the first time that Combs and Sherman had recorded and published the video of the horrific attack.
What a cold-blooded. If one man or a human being still respects this fool, I'm sorry you do. This is crazy.
Earlier that month, Cassie Ventura had come forward and filed a lawsuit against Combs for subjecting her to years of severe sexual and physical abuse. The case had been
Exactly, Quita. If they let him out again, he's gone. He's gone. They will never see him again. He's got enough money for that.
Settled one day after it had been filed. The plaintiff's former boyfriend invoked Ventura's efforts to hold Combs accountable and for the first time confessed that years earlier, but sometime after the actual rape itself, Sherman and Combs had showed him and a group of men, some of whom were also employed by Combs companies and their related entities, the videos of the plaintiff being raped. He disclosed that Combs and Sherman had a pattern and practice of non-consensually recording women, engaging in sexual acts, and making videos available to the public, including by selling tapes as pornography. Now, what
That was deep. Let's lighten it up a little bit. A little bit. Now you see why he doesn't have a bail. If anybody complains about him not getting bail, the white man won't give him bail. I don't want to hear. Remember now, the feds read this before. Okay, they read this case. Okay, you think you're gonna let him? Would you let anybody out who did this? Let me catch my breath. Here we go. Well, guess who's not that much better? Guess who's not that much better than Diddy? Another
Start
record
with the freak
mogul.
off. How we get there? Tell them about the freak off, Diddy Jr.
I got to pause it right there because I want to give it some audio quality, make it sound good so you guys can hear it crisp and clean. Up it goes. This is NEYO's baby mama breaking it down for you. Get ready. Here we go.
Let's start with the freak off. How we get there? Tell them about the freak off, Diddy Jr. Diddy Jr., tell them about the freak off. Tell them about the freak off. He don't care about these kids. All he care about is doing drugs, drinking alcohol, and these hoes. That's what you care about. So let's go.
Both male and female, by the way. Both male and female.
Wait a minute, not NEYO getting exposed by both his ex-girlfriend and baby mama for being a baby oil king. Child, get in here, because just when we thought this Diddy saga couldn't get any worse, NEYO has also been incriminated after a video went viral of his baby mama exposing him for being at Diddy's freak-off parties. And get this.
Oh, well, you know something? If NEYO is lucky, they'll cut a deal. They'll cut a deal for him. They'll cut a deal for him. I think he might be able to get, depending on how deep the rabbit hole goes, he might get out, he might just get probation. But this is the weird thing, y'all. This is literally the whole black music industry. I would say between Chris Brown, NEYO, Diddy, R. Kelly, that's like 2/3 of the hip hop R&B genre right there. And they're all monsters. And who listens to their music and what community is affected by their ideology? I didn't say music. Yeah, I know how you guys go, oh, it's not the music. Their ideology that they brainwash through their music.
NEYO was allegedly not just blowing the backside of women at them freak-offs. He was bending over the men, too, and oiling them up with that Johnson & Johnson. To make things even worse, his girlfriend, Monyetta, also said that NEYO has been a raging freak-off addict for decades now. And that's actually why she left him. She could just never keep up to his addiction, and that's when she knew she had to clock out. Not only that, but his
Men that have sexual dysfunctions and mental dysfunctions often use women poorly.
infamous polygamous relationship is just a facade to hide his love for that boy. But now, as y'all know, ever since Diddy got
That DL, let's just call it Diddy's house was DL hell. I guarantee you, every man that went in there was on the DL. It's the DL capital of the United States. Now you see why DL men are so dangerous. It's not that they like men, because there are men that like men, but they're peaceful men. That's not what it is. It's that DL phenomena, that DL phenomena that makes a monster. If you are DL, do yourself a favor and fix yourself, because I guarantee you, you probably have the same tendencies as Diddy, and that's not cool.
arrested, a whole lot of names have been coming up. And at this point, it's looking like everybody and their mama was at them freak-off parties, including none other than NEYO. This one was a little bit surprising, though, because NEYO is already in a polygamous relationship. So you'd think he'd be satisfied with the little three-way freak-offs he's been having with his women. But apparently that ain't enough to keep him satisfied, because word on the street is he was also spreading cheeks.
I mean, just like Diddy, Diddy is not the best-looking guy. He looks a little bit better with a beard, but if you saw him without a beard, he actually looks like a Martian, a chocolate Martian. NEYO is not that decent looking either. Neither is DJ Academics. He doesn't look that good either, and they all do the same monster shit.
At Diddy's freak-off parties. And the worst part of it all, he was caught on tape doing so. These rumors started going around when a video of his baby mama Sade accusing him for being a regular participant at Diddy's freak-off parties started resurfacing on the internet. She even went as far as labeling NEYO as Diddy Jr. Child, her calling this man Diddy Jr. is crazy. Like, can y'all imagine how many times he had to attend them parties for her to be calling him that?
Diddy Jr. Diddy Jr. There he is.
Over the house while his kids is here. Why this?
Let's go back. Listen to it one more time.
You. Tell him the real you. And while we're here today, y'all, guess what? Over what? Over what? Because he want over the house while his kids is here. Why this to have and alcohol, mushrooms, and in the house while his kids are here. Everyone has asked him to stop, but he will not listen to nobody. This is what's going on. This is the tea. While the bitch in the house, I asked him not to bring no bitch in the house. I even came over here to help him with these kids because he won't watch these kids. How did we get there? Let's go. Since we on live, let's go there. Let's start with the freak off. How we get there? Tell them about the freak off, Diddy Jr. Diddy Jr., tell them about the freak off.
Here's the sad thing, y'all. Here's the sad thing. These are role models, supposed leaders, right? Teaching the whole Black male community how to abuse women. Ain't that something? Let me keep going. Here we go.
Girl, so it looks like we weren't tripping.
Oh, wait, let me bring it down a little bit. Sorry about that blast. There we go. So Jay-Z's next. I told you he was next. I'm telling you, he's next. He's more slick than Diddy and more composed than Diddy, but he's just like Diddy. He's just sneakier about it. Let's see. Let's listen.
About how Jay-Z is being set up to get exposed after his BFF Diddy. The streets are saying that Beyonce is allegedly leaving Jay-Z and filing for divorce because homegirl is not about to go down with Jay-Z for the things that he chose to do with his bestie. There have been reports that Beyonce's and Jay-Z's marriage have been on the rocks for a while now, but this situation with Diddy and the feds just might be the last straw. Word on the streets is that Beyonce has packed her bags. But if you think that's messy, just wait until you hear that Jay-Z has gone missing. The streets are saying that he might have fled the country to avoid federal charges. Girl, this tea is spicy. So let's get to the bottom of this tea because Hollywood's biggest couple splitting up is wild. There has been some talk for a while now that Beyonce might be ready to call it quits on her marriage, especially with these new accusations tying Jay-Z to Diddy. Rumors about Jay and Diddy being involved in some shady stuff have been floating around for years, but most folks just shrugged it off as messy gossip. Now, with the feds supposedly sniffing around, people are starting to think there might be more to the story.
Oh, yeah, there's more to the story. There's more to the story. I'm going to let that chill for a minute, though, because, you know, I remember a long time ago when everybody thought that I was crazy to say that Diddy was going to get put in prison. They really thought they were going to. I mean, some people were saying, you know, he did it, but, you know, he's not going to go to jail. And then some people were like, oh, he didn't do it. And then some people are like, well, if he did it, he'll be out in a little while. You know, no, they going for the big one on him. They're going for the big one on him. They're going for the big one on him. Indiana Mom says, word is that Jay-Z and Bey are deeper than Diddy, just smart enough to not get busted. Supposedly, their deeds are way worse than Diddy's. Wow, we'll see, because Diddy is throwing everyone under the bus. Wow, I really hope Bey isn't in it, you know. But I guarantee you, maybe that's why she's breaking up now, because she's like, look, I'm giving that nigga up. I'm giving that nigga up. And you couldn't blame her. But, you know, you want to know somebody else in our conspiracy theories, because I know this ain't going to be the last one. Who else went to them Diddy parties? This dude.
Sheriff's deputies were waiting for Chris Brown when he walked off stage after his concert.
Another monster. Ask Karuchi. Ask Riri. Ask his manager, former manager. Ask the dudes he just beat up just a couple weeks ago. Monster that people love. A monster that people love.
Florida, he was arrested on a felony battery charge and booked into the Palm Beach County Jail before being released on $2,000 bond. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office issued the battery charge but did not release any other details about the allegations. Brown pled guilty to felony assault in 2009 for beating up his then-girlfriend, Rihanna. He was also arrested in 2016 for assault with a deadly weapon. In 2015, Brown was granted joint custody of his young daughter in Texas, which he shares with the child's mother. Matt,
Sooner or later, people, we can't allow ourselves to give these men a pass just because they're talented. I am not going to say he's not talented. But you know something? I had this idea a little while ago. Hello, Rough Rider. I have an idea that they should start building some prisons that have auditoriums in them. And I mean, top-notch auditoriums. And all these criminal bandits that destroy women, they can perform there on national TV. All they want. Get a little time off. But they stay in prison because that's where they belong. That's what I'm thinking.
Yours for CBS 11 News.
According to a lawsuit obtained by Rolling Stone, Chris Brown is being sued for allegedly drugging and raping a woman on a yacht.
Oh, doesn't that sound familiar? Who else does that? Who else does that? I don't know why that sounds so familiar. Why do we keep hearing the same thing over again? Isn't that what they said that went down with these academics, right? Who else is that guy? Who's that baby oil dude? Who is that baby oil dude? Who is that baby oil? Oh, the king of hip hop. This is what This is what our genre has become, folks.
At Diddy's Star Island home in Miami, Florida. Jane Doe alleges Brown served her 2 drinks, then she subsequently became disoriented, physically unstable, and started to fall in and out of sleep.
Doesn't that sound familiar? That's crazy how it just, they all were. I bet he got that shit from Diddy. At least where he could get it. But I guarantee you, I would not be surprised if Diddy literally said, give her this. Same dude who beat up on Rihanna. How is he out? Look, I know he makes money for the industry, right? But you got to put this guy up. You gotta go ahead. Look, we love his talent. Let him perform in prison. I guarantee you too, I guarantee you he's a DL too. I guarantee you.
According to Doe's claim, Brown proceeded to undress and rape her despite her attempts to leave. A rep for Brown did not immediately return Rolling Stone's request for comment, although Brown himself appeared to address the suit on his Instagram.
Same criminal background as Diddy. Okay? Same thing. And they're running the industry.
I hope y'all see this pattern of cap, he wrote. Whenever I'm releasing music or projects.
Yeah, I see the pattern of cap. I see your pattern. You got a pattern, bro, since the early 2000s, bro. What are you talking about?
They try to pull some real bullshit. Brown appears to be referring to an upcoming album run, though it's unclear who the mysterious they in question is. Chris Brown kicked off 2022 with solo release Iffy and a collab effort with Gunna and Young Blue off Gunna's latest Drip Season installation.
Wait a minute, isn't Gunna in trouble too? Let me keep it. I'm stopping going past that. They ain't gonna get me. Sorry, folks.
Brown has faced numerous charges of violence, especially toward women, in the past. In 2009, he pled guilty to 1 count of felony domestic assault for beating his then-girlfriend Rihanna. In 2017, his ex-girlfriend Karrueche Tran won a restraining order against him after she claimed he punched her in the stomach twice and pushed her down some stairs. 2 years later, he faced a rape allegation in Paris, and last June, he allegedly struck a woman.
Rough Rider, let me see what I can do. If not, what I'll do, Rough Rider, is put that on Conspiracies Part 2, because obviously this hole is going to go very deep, and so we'll have time for Jonathan Adi as well
during an argument, but no charges were filed due to insufficient evidence. Stay tuned to RollingStone.com for updates on this developing.
So yeah, there we go. Look at him. Look at him. This is a different case.
A Washington, D.C. judge allowed the release of photos, including one of Chris Brown in custody in the assault case against the singer. One picture shows the man Brown and his bodyguard are accused of punching. There's also a photo of Brown posing with 2 fans outside a hotel before the alleged attack. Stars from the new Showtime series Penny Dreadful walk the red carpet in New York.
Good movie, by the way, but that's not what we're here for. Yeah. And here's Karrueche Tran's situation right here.
Chris Brown responds to Karrueche's abuse claims.
I mean, how many people does this guy have to beat up to not go to jail, not go to prison? I don't get it. And then people are saying, oh yeah, the legal system is so unfair to black men. It's like, look, yeah, it is unfair to some black men, but obviously not they're not fair to the people that the victims of the people that these men monster. Here we go. Here's another one. There's a different one.
Chris Brown allegedly assaulted a music producer to XXL. The man, who has chosen to remain anonymous, has claimed that the singer launched the assault at him at the Tape nightclub, which sent him to the hospital. Now, the alleged victims.
Yep. There we go. Another one. That's Ricky Smiley, by the way, but we're going to go past him. Yep. So, get this one. Here's another one.
Antonio Brown, Orlando Brown.
Here we go. Oh, she's cute.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I am back with another live.
Hey, Mariah.
If you are new to my channel,
I'm gonna move her forward because I'm gonna keep her a mystery. So you go to her channel. Okay, here we go. Right here.
Chris Brown's house by his friend Sage the Gemini.
Okay, wait. Let me go back a little bit more. Here we go. Oh, she got it. She got matching headsets for what she's got on and everything. Dang. Great. I like the brick background too.
so here was the young lady giving her account. Hopefully my video doesn't get flagged, but you know, she's going to speak her truth. Hold on, I cannot hear. Here we go.
But it's time. They finally got Diddy. They finally got him. But the thing is, there's so many more men out there, just like Diddy, who are abusers, who use their fame to lure women in and abuse them. And I wanted to come on here to say that it is time to out every single abuser in the industry, every single one. They all need to be held accountable. And the thing is, I would be a hypocrite if I came on here and I was telling other women that they need to speak up if I'm unwilling to speak up. I was raped at Chris Brown's house by his friend, Sage the Gemini. Yes, I know I should have never been at Chris Brown's house in the first place. This happened when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now, as of today.
What 18-year-old is going to say no to getting invited to Chris Brown's house? I don't know any. So the fact that this girl is getting blamed because she, being a young, naive 18-year-old, went to one of the most famous R&B stars of all time house is crazy. Who's not going to go at 18?
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. See, the thing is, they're trying to blame people for
I should have never been there. But Sage the Gemini raped me at his house. Chris Brown raped my friend when she was underage. She was under the influence and she was 16 years old. Were on two different occasions.
Now, I believe that she was under the influence because Chris Brown walks around looking like
Under
he's
the
on
influence.
something
Yeah.
all the time. Let me pull up some pictures of Chris Brown. Y'all know we have accused him of being a crackhead.
Okay, let me pause right there. You've seen enough, Chris Brown. That's enough. Now, let's see what's going on with this one.
This is something that Diddy didn't know. It was gonna all get put in the shoebox. Diddy, he had everything. He thought that they weren't gonna find them VHS tapes from the 90s, and everybody knew for a fact Jay-Z, he was the man.
Like Demora said, he was stupid.
At the parties, snatching phones, telling people they need to really fall back from Diddy. He ain't want nobody to stand next to Diddy. At the end of the day, it was all bosses that they wanted. And this is something that all could have been avoided. And at the end of the day, we know that this is something that we all really can pay close attention to, because this is something that Diddy, he knew it was going to come back on him, because this is something that he could have avoided.
For what they experienced with P. Diddy, with what they experienced with his freak offs, with his parties, with his work ethic even. There are celebrities coming out of the woodwork on both sides of this. Some are saying, you know, it's P. Diddy. Others are saying, I'm so glad that we're finally going to have a chance to have peace. There's so much coming out. Possible cameras on the wall just to have the satisfaction that the person that destroyed their life.
You think this is funny? So I'm going to play one more video, and then we're going to have a part two, because I still got a lot of videos, but it's getting late. I understand. It's Thursday night. Everybody got work in the morning. I started a late live because I had a whole lot going on today. But I appreciate your patience. But here we go. This is
Okay, so Katt
you know,
Williams
all those people love the
called it
Cowboys,
on
right?
Club Shay
Wait, let me pause it.
that this is the
Wait. This is a year exposure. You know, all you Cowboy lovers, this one's out to you. This one's out to you. Here we go. Jamie Foxx is in the mix. But This is going to be a little different. Here we go.
Year of freaks. First we had Diddy, and now we have Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones saying some wild shit. Anyways, so this video looks to have been taken during training camp over the summer, but somehow just got posted on Twitter in the last 24 hours, and it involves Jamie Foxx, who was a diehard Cowboys fan, and team owner Jerry Jones. So in the clip I'm about to play, Jamie's live streaming and is sitting next to Jerry Jones, who looks to be playing with his phone and talking to himself, and what he's about to say at the end made Jamie Foxx immediately shut down his live stream. This is crazy. Jerry wild for this. There needs to be an investigation into this man. All I know is Cam and Mace gonna have a field day with this topic on Monday. Anyways, here's that clip.
Style too. Yeah. That's how it kind of runs. Something straight up. Yeah. Check me out.
A little smaller. Get it out.
I got fresh 15, baby. Kevin Smith, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Got second round there.
Second round.
Remember now, Jerry is like an 80-year-old man.
Yeah. You know, I'm Carl Davis for the Jets. Yeah. Look at him. Show a little balance right there. Hey, that's pretty good right there. He showed balance. 5'9.5", 210.
5'9", 210.
441. Okay. 9 3-inch height. 8.5-inch dick.
Yes. You heard it, right? Did you? Let me play that over again. Just in case you missed it. Here we go.
3-inch height. 8.5-inch dick.
Yeah, that's Jerry Jones. Man, I wonder how he knows. I wonder how he knows. How did Jerry know that one of his football players has an 8.5? One more time.
9.5, 210.
5'9", 210.
441.
Okay.
9 3-inch height. 8.5-inch dick.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. Let me hit the beat. Yes. Jerry. No. Wow. You know this isn't gonna hit the algorithm with that on there, but I had to do it, folks. In the house, Sweet Award, Susie Bell, Hazel Bug, Kenny Kenna, I promise to start off a little earlier next time. Rough Rider in the house. Welcome, Rough Rider. Bring it down. Music in the house. Don't forget, you can catch it on the replay. Guys, thinking knowledge. Thank everybody for coming through. See you on the next one.